Welcome back. My name is Railgun Intern, and today we're joined with Germi. So Germi, what's your background? What's your story? And how did you get started with Railgun?
Sure. Hey guys, how's it going? Super nice to be here. So yeah, I'm a computer guy. I love talking to computers back and forth, breaking them, fixing them, seeing how they work. How did I got here? So since child, I have always been onto computers. More or less, they did play a huge part of my childhood while growing up. Since I was a toddler, I were always kind of like to be found playing games, then online MMORPGs, the normal thing, kind of like Game Boy Advance and that sort of stuff. Though I must mention where I'm based from, kind of like getting a Game Boy Advance or kind of like those sort of devices was not as normal as it were in other countries. So the solution for that was just downloading kind of like an emulator and downloading kind of like the game itself and playing around it. But this was great for me actually, because the more deep I got onto kind of like downloading games, I started finding out kind of like tools for making me better on those games, as cheating, right? Like cheat engine or having to edit kind of like the files and stuff like that. That's where I think I did the click and I started getting onto this idea around, hey, how do computers work? I want to learn more about this. I was really curious by that time. I didn't even find myself kind of like cheating on the Pokemon kind of like Fire Red, being able to kind of like walk through the walls, kind of like getting rare candy, getting a super kind of like team and stuff like that. It was super good, super fun times too. Even the Facebook games, Restaurant City, man, I was super good at it, kind of like hacking it. My friends couldn't even kind of like play with me because of kind of like I was ruining the whole thing, but it wasn't really fun. Coming back to it, I did find lots of things related to hacking and stuff, and also lots of P2P, torrenting, file sharing, the Pirate Bay, and all those sorts of programs, which I did find philosophy behind sharing programs, kind of sharing solutions like tutorials, and how can I get all these sort of things kind of like for free on the internet was fully insane to me. Hey, do you really mean that I can get kind of like Pokemon just doing a couple of clicks and owning it? It was super interesting to me, and the people around it, the people building those tools were super interesting to me as well. So all in all of these things made me go and study computer science for a couple of years at least before I did drop out. But during those years, I have always been prevailing this motto of mine of ownership of your own data, privacy, and decentralization. The timing was quite good because I did get to know about blockchains and Ethereum and Bitcoin during college time. So I started contributing to projects related to infrastructure and all the sorts of stuff that did really reason within myself. Stuff should be decentralized. You should own your own data and be able to decide on what should be public and what not. After a couple of years working around infra, I started kind of pivoting towards NFTs, meaning the whole ecosystem and soaking information to where the whole blockchain thing was going to, which was super cool. I got to meet really smart and humble people along the path, which I'm really kind of grateful for nowadays. And after a couple of years of kind of doing some freelancing, working with several projects, working within the gaming world, working with it kind of like NFTs and everything, I started getting more onto DeFi, started getting more onto kind of like the financial world inside Ethereum and kind of like the blockchain space, which was crazy. That was crazy for me. I couldn't believe that. I'm the first guy who will tell you, hey, I hate going physically to banks. Virtual banks were not a really kind of like thing by that moment. And I was like, hey, what do you mean I can trade money within a couple of clicks through the blockchain? I was like, this is insane. The timing was quite perfect because a really good friend of mine told me about Railgun. When I did kind of like started getting more onto the documentation and seeing how the protocol did work, I was even transacting within the blockchain, sending and receiving money all of this time. Because I knew it was normal for people within the blockchain ecosystem to like, hey, can you send me $10? Yeah, sure, here's my address. Oh, okay, that's good. But I had this itch of I'm sharing with them my address, and if they copy my address, they might know who do I transact with, in what period of time this was kind of like the best time of me kind of like holding the much more money that I could, and all those sort of things that comes with you sharing your address. And I was like, okay, this is it. It should have always been this way. Why are we sharing so much information? I mean, like, it's not that it's wrong. I mean, like, I should be able to say like what's good and what's not for me to share to, right? So yeah, so ever since, it has been almost a year now that I have been contributing to the project. Super good, super fun. It's really funny because every time I will contribute to the project, I'm like, hey, I'm working towards this end game I have you always looking for. It's really nice to code stuff that it really resonates to what your values, your deep values are root and what you are really into. That's it pretty much.
Awesome. So you've been working with the project for 1 year. Where do you see Railgun going in 5 years?
Yeah, this is a really good question. I'm really looking forward to the moment where we stand I really hope for us to gather in 5 years and laugh about this, to say like, hey, how were we even doing financial transactions within the blockchain a couple of years ago? How come privacy wasn't the normal, the day-to-day thing? I see Railgun a day-to-day thing. We shouldn't even be worrying about gas fees, about counting a public transaction, and all of these workarounds we have nowadays to actually make money be private, transactions be private. I see it as a really normal thing. As you sell or Venmo me like $10 nowadays, you just can get my email or get my phone number. You just can put in the amount, you hit send, and that's it, right? It should be that way, man. It should be that easy. We shouldn't be worrying nowadays about UX issues or gas fees or the transaction reverted, all those sort of things, right? So yeah, I see it like that. I really expect for a future where people send and receive money within the blockchain ecosystem on a private way. They are not worrying about the gas fee being too high, so they have to resend the transaction. I really want for it to be that way.
Now, you mentioned that you really enjoy contributing to Railgun, but what is the biggest challenge that you found working on open source technology like Railgun?
Okay, yeah, this is fair. So just to give a little bit more background on me, I have always been, as my beginnings as a software developer, had always been within private companies. So that means private repositories, private organizations, and the scope of the people you talk to is really limited. Like, you're pushing code, and probably the one reviewing it is your coworker, and he might be next to you in the same spot in the office. That's what is really normal when you work on a private company, and you are working with a really defined scope from someone who also shares your same interests within that private company, right? Even more, like, the feedback you receive around it is from people that also belong to that organization. That's all in the private world, and I have always been super good in that ecosystem. It is really normal in software development to use public packages, like public tooling of people who might live on the other corner of the world, and you can get in there, see the code, see what the code does. Read documentation. Pretty much see also people complaining or people contributing to it, which is super cool. And I think that's what makes technology nowadays super worth sharing values with people that might be on the other part of the world, that your main language may not be the same as theirs, but they do share your same alignment towards the project you are contributing to. That's pretty much what happens whenever you're working with open source technology. You get people from everywhere, you get different languages, and this comes with its own pros and cons. The cons is the contra about this is that coordinating stuff, it's really difficult. Development pace tends to be a little bit slower because coordination, it's really difficult, and communication as well. I mean, if I talk to someone who lives on the other side of the world, I mean, I already got that 12-hour difference response lag, right? Which is something that really doesn't happen that much or that frequently within private entities. And also, I'd say the interests across developers. We are always working towards the same endgame. The major philosophy we are working to here is mostly privacy related stuff, but inside those privacy related things, you might get different sort of opinions. which do prevail at the time when you are pushing code, you are reviewing code. Even more, like I did mention a couple of minutes ago, whenever you are working on a private organization, the only reviews you get, the feedback you get around that code is just, it's really narrow. It's from the people you are working next to. Here you get reviews from everywhere. Anyone can get in, pop in, download the code, check what it does, and suggest some improvements, or pretty much have some differences between the way you do things and the other sides. And you need to do the thing where you solve all of those issues. All in all, kind of like this back and forth reviews, coding, communicating, everything generates more friction. Hence, the development pace tends to be slower. But I mean, like, to summarize, you get all these cons, but all the pros about gathering feedback from anyone, everywhere, around any corner of the world, and different ideas, and people that might not even share your core values, but everything outweighs totally the cons. So it's super good, it's super healthy, and I really want to see more people contributing to the open source ecosystem. That would be insane. Whenever you are downloading something private, it's really difficult for you to see or gather kind of like what's really going on there on that code base, for instance. But whenever you are able to see it publicly, it's a whole different story. You're able to kind of like audit that code for yourself, which is way better and more transparent, which is what I vouch for.
Awesome. Thank you. So what excites you most about Railgun?
Okay, well, I mean, like, comes without the need to say that I feel it contributing to a cause where I share the same core values of the people that contribute to this project is a huge plus. The best thing and the thing that excites me the most are the contributors I get to talk to every day on a daily basis, like the core ones. They have super crazy ideas, and also they're super smart. I like to see myself as the personality guy, like the one that tells jokes, that doesn't go that good, because I mean, trust me, they're super smart and humble people within the contributors, which is insane. And even better when you think twice about it, and it's like, hey, these people are working towards the same goal that I have, making privacy normal. I mean, this is the best, and it's really fun and exciting whenever I get to know someone new and I tell them, hey, yeah, do you know Railgun? And they are like, oh yes, Railgun is the best. Oh, whenever you go to conferences and developer talks, and they see that you contribute to the Railgun project, and everyone, I mean, for real, everyone, not even a single soul has told me something bad about it. And getting that feedback from the people, from developers on the ecosystem, about people that say like, hey, I mean, like, I don't know how I was even previously doing financial transactions within the blockchain. Thanks for contributing to this project. All of those sort of things really make me smile, actually. Like, it's super good, and I'm super happy for.
Fantastic. Thank you. Now, is there anything that we can share with the audience? Maybe leak some information or something that is coming up soon to help them get excited about the future of Railgun?
Yes, definitely. I can leak alpha. I'd like to mention and give a warm hug to people contributing to the Reloaded project. Reloaded is no more or less like a new Railgun, I'd say. We are pretty much more or less working on making the SDK more modular. Our core idea behind it is that it should be really easy to integrate Railgun onto your project, onto your product, onto whatever you want to. It should be really easy. And one of the very first things that did happen to me when I started diving onto the code base, hey, I mean, like, this is super good, but there are some things that do not actually work inside my brain, and I think I'm not as smart as I should be to understand this, and I want to, it's my personal mission to make that barrier, that entry level barrier, to delete it. Like, you should be able to hop into the code, read it, and say like, hey, this is easy. I mean, I can integrate this, or I can propose a new idea, or I can suggest an issue or an improvement for the documentation. All those sort of things would allow us as a project to gather more people and more ideas and push forward more with new ideas and contributors. That's what I'm mostly looking for, and that's what we are aiming our research at mostly.
So I've been hearing a lot of rumors about ink and a possible proposal that's coming up. Can you explain what ink is and what it means for Railgun?
Yes, that's a really good question. So yeah, I mean, we have this proposal coming up. We have this governance system where you get Rail, you can stake them, and you can vote yes or no. Pretty much, this is a super TLDR for how it works. You can vote in favor or against proposals that might or might not align with your values. So specifically about ink is pretty much another blockchain which it's enhancing privacy, and it's submitting a proposal for us to deploy kind of like the smart contracts for Railgun inside. What does this mean? Pretty much giving the privacy features that we currently have on the current deployed blockchains over their platform as well, which pretty much means they are vouching for privacy, which is kind of the whole point around this. This means kind of like more adoption, more people being able to interact privately on a different blockchain, which is super good and healthy at the same time. But yeah, that's it pretty much.
If someone's listening to this for the first time, or they've been watching the project, but they haven't contributed yet, but they would like to, what can they do? What can the people do if they want to be a part of this?
That's a really good question. First of all, then I told them to join the community, download Discord, hop into the channel, get into the Telegram group chats, talk to contributors, read the documentation, know what a private balance is, know what your public balance is, kind of like the very first thing that I like for people that does not know about the project is to kind of like understand the why, understand kind of like the effects that privacy have on you on a daily basis. I feel that makes kind of like that makes you see this development and this project really different to what you would see other kind of like sort of projects that do not kind of like relate that much to privacy. Like to be super healthy for you to be able to kind of contribute to the project from a privacy perspective, right? That's for the community part. Talking to people, comparing ideas. That's fundamental for people to actually be able to hop into the channels, can talk a lot, download the code, try to break it. That's my suggestion. If you're a developer, hop onto GitHub, can see the organization, do the README, see where it fails. Please do, I beg you, submit an issue and contribute to the project. Whether or not it's a really small detail or a huge enhancement, just contribute, get the ball going, and that's going to be a really good start. If you do things right, we'll start getting more in touch with contributors and get more ideas, and who knows, even contributing more and more to the project.
Well, thank you very much, Germi, for talking to us and for sharing your story. To everyone listening, check out railgun.org. You can also join the community on X, Discord, and Telegram, and keep pushing for privacy in crypto. Until next time, this is Railgun Intern signing off.